Giraffes. Zebras. Late-night talk show hosts.
Welcome to Samantha B's RwandaVision!
On today's episode of Full Frontal, my vaccinated butt is in Rwanda, and man, is it nice to be outside of America. From Akagera National Park.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
To the bustling city of Kigali. I don't know what you said, but I can tell that you think Americans are crazy. To the Gashora Refugee Center.
Can I stay here if all I'm doing is fleeing a culture war?
Join me as I conduct hard-hitting interviews.
What would you like to say to our American audience?
That was
Hey buddy, come over here to hang out with me. I love your knees.
Do you like hockey? It's a sport. You can play it.
make a fool of myself on a whole other continent.
Oh God! Oh God!
And do whatever this is.
I'm coming!
You way you rock non-stop, girl, you got the chops, flip-flop, she bop, self-top, your licks are hot. Boys wanna be her, the girls wanna be her, boys wanna be her. I wanna be her, listener, so do you.
Welcome to RwandaVision with Samantha B. Why am I in Rwanda? Two reasons. One, when we planned this trip a few months ago, it was on a list of safe places to travel during COVID. And two, because Conan hasn't been here yet. I'll miss you, you tall Harvard goofball. I am so excited to host the show from Rwanda because it's a chance for us to explore a place that a lot of Americans only know from movies. Unfortunately, if you're getting your education about any part of Africa from Western pop culture and media, you've probably been fed a oversimplified narrative.
Never equaled in its amazing thrills, Trader Horn reveals the long-hidden secrets of the Dark Continent.
It's hard to remember that Edmund Zwanny was once a good man. They all begin as liberators, and 20 minutes later they're as corrupt as the tyrants they overthrow.
This is a great Wachati tradition, the Virgin's dance of seduction.
This boy must come to my house for treatment. See that he does.
Oh, thank you, Santi Sana.
They seem friendly to you. I've got the oddest feeling we're going to get cooked in that pot.
TIA, right, Med?
TIA.
What's TIA?
This is Africa.
Putting Africa in a movie doesn't have to be offensive, just like putting me in a movie doesn't have to be a part cut for time. Only 14% of references to Africa made on TV and in film in the US are positive, and 44% of shows and movies include no reference to a specific country. That's ridiculous! When we talk about the North American continent, we'd never confuse the culture of Manitoba with the culture of Utah or the culture of the Yucatan. Even though those places do have something in common, they all banned me from entering them thanks to my lax attitudes about bottom nudity. Yet when Western media talks about Africa, they often treat the entire continent like it's just one country.
Do you speak African? Well, neither do the 1.1 billion people in Africa.
I don't like the way some of you portray Africa. Nigeria is as far from Zimbabwe as New York is from France. And it's not a bunch of naked people in need of Western charity. You have it all wrong. Lions are not roaming our streets, okay?
I don't know what's worse, that people just assume lions roamed the streets of African towns, or that when she said it, I imagined that the lion was dressed up to go to his regular job. He's the king of accounts receivable. Much like entertainment, Western journalism is more likely to focus on trauma and poverty in African countries than to tell nuanced, varied stories.
Nigeria is a country plagued by kidnappings, extremists, and bandits.
Years of war, poverty, and drought have left more than 20 million people facing famine.
The journey begins at first light, a more than 8-hour trek across the unforgiving desert of Somaliland. Under the searing sun, we are told there is an urgent crisis now unfolding.
Against the winds, they hold on to a piece of desert that is about as barren a place as there is on the earth.
This is frankly a pretty scary city. We've had to hire 8 gunmen to protect us from the warlords, the local militias.
Sadly, none of those gunmen could protect him from the danger of delivering a news story while driving. African media coverage in the U.S. overwhelmingly focuses on negative stories such as violence, corruption, and terrorism, and there's a reason for that.
Poverty porn, also known as development porn, famine porn, or stereotype porn, has been defined as any type of media which exploits the poor's condition in order to generate the necessary sympathy for selling newspapers or increasing charitable donations or support for a given cause. It is a term also used to explain when media is created not in order to generate sympathy, but to generate sensationalism, to cause anger or outrage.
Unlike my favorite type of porn, sex porn. It's just videos of hot people having sex. Google it. You'll be glad you did. While it's important to cover more difficult stories in Africa, when we share just those, we leave no space for more positive developments. If we want to really learn about Africa, we need to cover more nuanced stories about the countries and regions that make up the continent, which is why I've come to Rwanda. This country suffered through a horrific genocide in the 90s that was largely ignored by the West, and many people only know about Rwanda through that lens. But there are more stories to tell about Rwanda today. Coming up, I'll be exploring Akagera National Park to learn about Rwanda's conservation efforts, and then I'll be visiting the Gashora ETM to see how Rwanda is opening their arms to refugees. Oh my God, I'm so excited! Aw, thanks for watching. If you'd like to hear more from Full Frontal, hit subscribe and visit our page for more videos. Or if you'd like to be radicalized, leave YouTube on autoplay.